Okay, so we're going to talk about trouble sleeping. Does anyone have trouble sleeping at night? Everybody has it from time to time. Some people are kind of plagued with it. I have the opposite problem. I'm just always tired. So trouble sleeping is a pretty common entry point into meditation. I would say probably behind anxiety. It's one of the top. Really what we're going to try to get at here, or Margaret says, or going back to sleep when woken up. Yeah, it's really, this will be very helpful for that too. So what we're really going to try to get at here, right, what we're going to kind of unearth a little bit, is that this concept of a calm mind leading to a calm body, right? There is a connection between mind and body, and sometimes we don't always realize that. Like intellectually, we kind of know it, but sometimes it's not always apparent to us. Oh, it sounds like a lot of people have trouble sleeping. I'm sorry to hear that, but a great topic for you. So when we try to go to sleep, right, what happens? We're like, it's actually quite similar to what we just tried to do in meditation. We're like, okay, mind, now you're not going to think of anything. You're just going to go to sleep. And sometimes our mind is like, what? That's not happening. I'm thinking about a million things, right? Just because you think it's sleep time, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop being anxious about that project coming up, right? We're so used to kind of distracting ourselves or letting our mind be distracted throughout the day, right? Multitasking, that when it's time to sleeping is really not multitasking. If you think about it, right? We're going to do one thing. We're just going to sleep, right? We're not used to doing that. And so similar to how meditation can be challenging when we first start because we're not familiar with focusing on one thing, we often have trouble going to sleep because our mind is not wanting to cooperate and focus on sleep. It wants to think about the million things that happened to us during the day or that are coming up tomorrow, right? So it's really kind of like the same concept as meditation, which is interesting. There's actually a lot of connections between meditation and sleep that are really interesting, right? So what are some things that kind of happen to us? Oh, here we go. Janelle, TV, cell phone, the ID channel, distracted to fall asleep. Yeah, so you've heard this many times before. You don't need me to tell you, right? Oh, don't look at your phone before you go to sleep or whatever, right? Why is that, right? Because what are we doing when we're kind of looking at our phone? We're like looking at a different million things, right? And so our mind gets into that mode, and then we're like, okay, let's forget that. And the mind's like, no. So that's really why the suggestion is there to kind of like eliminate that a little bit before bed to help promote sleep. We're going to go even a step further than that. Rob, multitask all day, multitask all night, lived never having a single task at all. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everybody, right? Especially in like the West. We're kind of all about go, do as many things as possible. If I'm not doing 6,000 things, like what am I doing, right? So we have to unlearn that a little bit, or we have to kind of learn a new good habit. And that good habit is kind of balancing the scales, right? We're not like, multitasking is good for getting things done, but we should choose if we want to do that, right? And right now we're not choosing. So with sleep, a lot of the times we are having agitation in our mind that is causing us to not be able to kind of settle in and go to sleep. So anxiety is a huge one, right? Anxiety, I'll define for you as a kind of exaggerated worry of the future, right? Something that's coming up, right? A project you have coming up. If you're going to wake up on time, it's all future based, right? So a lot of the times when we're trying to go to sleep, our mind is kind of like stuck in the future, right? Sometimes it's stuck in the past, right? And it's thinking about the thing your coworker said to you today that annoyed you, right? Why are we thinking about that? We're trying to go to sleep. I don't know, but that's what our mind's doing. It's stuck in the past, right? So if our mind's in the future or if it's in the past, it's not in the present moment. And that's where we want to be when we're trying to go to sleep. We want to just be kind of okay with where we are right now, just laying down and relaxing, right? So a lot of that has to do with learning how to bring our attention into the present moment, which is something we're going to work on today. Ellen, how about watching TV? Sometimes it relaxes me. Other times, not so much. Well, that's interesting, right? So sometimes, yeah, we can find TV pretty relaxing, right? And a lot of times is when we're really focused on it, right? We're just kind of really plugged into this kind of program or whatever we're watching. I don't know why I said program, but show. Other times, like we're watching TV, but like, there's other stuff going on, right? Looking at our phone, we're thinking about work. Oh, thing I forgot to do, right? There's tons going on, right? So we can pretty much turn any activity that we're doing into a kind of single pointed focus exercise, but we have to consciously do that, right? So TV is an interesting one because it does kind of seem to go both ways, right? You think it can be white noise? Yeah, absolutely, it can be white noise. I use a fan every night. I have bad tinnitus, so I need like a noise. Otherwise, I get really focused on this ringing. Where it's just interesting because we'll talk about stuff like that today. Cool. So really what we want to start to encourage ourselves to do is be present with ourselves when we're sleeping, right? We want to try to remove our attention from the future, from the past, right? So sometimes it's very apparent that our mind is the culprit here, right? Our mind is agitated, stressed, anxious, angry, and what happens, right? We can't sleep, right? Other times, it kind of feels like our body is the thing keeping us awake, right? I don't know about you, but sometimes I get my body is restless, or I have itching or something like that. Itching, I hate it. I hate itching. I have like a phobia about it for a really long time. Just what I'm working with. Everyone's got their own issues, right? And so like itching bothered me so much when I would try to sleep. Right. And I would feel an itch and that was it. I was totally not sleeping now because of that one little itch. Ellen, my doctor told me to just ignore the ringing in your ears. Well, that is kind of what now, Ellen. Okay. This is a really interesting thing. I didn't know so many people had tinnitus, so I wouldn't really focus on it, but, tinnitus only bothers you when you're paying attention to it. Right? There are a lot of times where we forget that we have tinnitus and it's almost as if it's not there. It's there, but it seems like it's not. So this is the concept of meditation. We're focused so much on something that's not our tinnitus, right? That it seems as though our tinnitus fades into the background a little bit, right? So training in meditation helps a lot with tinnitus, right? Too, because it really is all about focus, choosing where we want our focus to be, right? Great. Margaret, or bits hurt. Yeah. So another problem with our trying to go to sleep with our body is we have chronic pain, or we hurt our knee, right? All these things that happen to us. There's tons of things. They all kind of contribute to this trouble sleeping. Right? Now, the interesting thing is that these kind of ailments of the body, right? While they might be annoying, really the culprit is still your mind, right? So let's take the idea of itching, right? I'll just use that one. So I'm laying down, I'm trying to go to sleep, right? And I have this itch, right? I'm like, oh, now my mind, what's happening? My mind is agitated. Why is this happening? I need to wake up tomorrow. Please, I can't have this happen. Why does this always happen? All those thoughts come into our head, right? And so really what's happening is the kind of ailment of the body is trickling up into our mind, and our agitated mind is like feeding that, and it's this cycle where we can't go to sleep. So there's this weird connection between body and mind when we're trying to sleep, and they kind of feed into each other, right? And the way we're going to start to remedy this a little bit, right, is to have a trickle down effect from our mind into our body, right? So we want to start by relaxing our mind a little bit, similar to what we did before. Then we're going to start to use our mind to relax our body a bit. I'm going to guide us through this meditation, don't worry, right? And that combination, there's like a trick, like I keep saying trickle down effect, but that's kind of what's happening, right? We start with our mind and our body is going to start to relax, right? If we are able to relax some of the agitation. Rosa, would it be advisable to use CBD products, hemp or cannabis, to aid with meditation or sleep induction? So a lot of people do. It is not necessary. It's not like if I use CBD, I'll be a better meditator, right? And in fact, part of meditation is realizing that you do not need specific external things in order to relax. It's a very important part of meditation, right? You have everything you need to relax right now. Now, that being said, some people find great benefits with something like CBD to relax. And if that is something that helps you, go for it. But sometimes I try not to associate those things with meditation, because sometimes then we start to think, oh, I need CBD to meditate, right? But that's not really how it works. You have what you need to meditate, right? You might think that you need CBD to meditate, but you don't, right? You can do this on your own, right? I don't know if that was a hopeful answer, but that's the one I got. Okay, so we're going to do what's called a body scan meditation. You ever heard of that? It's one of the more common ones out there these days. So we're going to do a body scan meditation, but when I teach a body scan meditation, I add in a couple other things that I think are really important, right? So the way it's going to work is like this. We're going to start by calming our mind for a little bit, right? Just kind of like we did before. Then I'm going to guide us through an exercise, the body scan, in relaxing individual parts of our body, right? And then what we're going to do is kind of relax our mind a little bit again, right? We're using our mind actively to relax our body. Then we're going to let our mind relax. And all throughout this process, I'm throwing in gratitude. This is maybe you're like, what does gratitude have to do with this, right? You'll see. Because a lot of times we get mad at our body when it's, or our mind when we're having trouble sleeping, right? Oh, God, I always do this. Why does my knee always have to hurt, right? Why am I so upset about itching or whatever? Why am I so worried about this, right? We get mad at ourselves, right? When really our body, our mind, it goes through a lot of stress each day, right? So we're going to work on developing some gratitude, some compassion for our own body, our own mind. That way we encourage it to relax instead of getting mad at it that it isn't doing it naturally for us, right? Okay. It's just a little extra thing I think is important to throw in there. All right. So we're going to do that now. And all you have to do is really kind of follow along with what I'm saying, right? And now this is something that you can do while you're laying down at night. So maybe right now you're not laying down, but if you're laying in bed, you can do this body scan meditation, right? It's really good when you're like actually in bed laying down. You're probably just fall right to sleep, hopefully. Okay. So sit comfortably. If you didn't like your previous seating arrangement, good time to change. I think that's it. Okay. You can go ahead and close your eyes. Let's relax. Once again, very quickly, just check in with yourself. How are you feeling now? Just notice your thoughts. Notice how you're feeling. This is also a good thing to do before bed. Just check in. See how you're doing. And having done that, you can now turn your attention once again to your breath. Just do a short breathing meditation to settle back in, breathing in and out of your nose very gently and very naturally. following each moment of each breath, completely present with each breath. And if you catch your mind drifting into the future or past, into anxious thoughts, just gently bring your attention back to breathing. Put those thoughts aside, we'll get to them later. Gently guide yourself back to breathing in and out, gently, naturally. Allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to enjoy sitting here. You have nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, just this moment, this moment, this moment. As you start to settle in with focusing on your breath, maybe you'll notice some interesting sensations about breathing that are there, but you hadn't really thought of before. Maybe you're noticing how the air feels cool temperature-wise each time you breathe in, and how that same air feels warmer each time you breathe out. Your shoulders rising, falling, your entire body being an active participant in breathing. How interesting. Single-pointed concentration allows us to find some hidden joys in the activity. You're starting to enjoy something as simple as breathing in and out. How cool is that? What a great use of your time to be able to enjoy something as simple as your breath. So having relaxed a little bit with breathing meditation, we're now going to do a body scan. So just follow along with what I'm saying. We're going to systematically go through parts of our body, give them permission to relax. So I'd like you to turn your full attention to the area around your eyes, just the general area of your eyes. How do your eyes feel right now, in this moment? Are they heavy? Whatever it is, just notice. And we can think about all our eyes do for us each and every day. Gift of sight. So important to us. We can start to develop some gratitude to our eyes. And we can give our eyes permission to relax. We can imagine the area by our eyes fading away. And turn your attention to your nose. What does your nose feel like? Are your nostrils flaring? Can you smell anything? Our nose provides us with our sense of smell. Extremely important. We can develop some gratitude for this part of our body. Recognize how hard it works each day. And we can give our nose permission to relax. We can imagine the area by our nose fading away. You can turn your attention to your mouth. Plug into how your lips feel, how your mouth feels in this moment. We use our mouth to speak, to communicate. Our jaw moving up and down all day long. We can develop some gratitude for our mouth and allow it to relax. Imagine the area by your mouth fading away. Work lower to our shoulders. We hold so much stress in our shoulders. How do your shoulders feel right now? Are they clenched? Relaxed? Our shoulders support our head, our brain. Helps our arms move. So many wonderful things we get out of our shoulders. They work so hard for us each day. Let's give them permission to relax. Imagine the area around your shoulders fading away. Our stomach, vital to nutrition. We can plug into our stomach right now. How does our stomach feel? Put all your attention on your stomach. How lucky we are to have a working digestive system to nourish us. We can thank our stomach for all it does for us each day, and we can give our stomach permission to relax. We can imagine our stomach just fading away. Our legs, our knees, our calves. How do they feel? Tired, achy. Our legs support our entire body all day long, each and every day. Working extremely hard so that way we can be mobile, we can walk, we can move, experience the world. How lucky we are. How hard our legs work each and every day. We can develop some gratitude for our own legs. Give our legs permission to relax. Imagine them fading away. And finally, we can work down to our feet. How do your feet feel? Tired, sore? Much like our legs, our feet are responsible for allowing us to walk. They support the full burden of our body. Give your feet permission to relax. Imagine your feet fading away. With each part of our body faded away into relaxation, we are left with our mind, our consciousness. How does your mind feel? Calm, relaxed. As important as our body is, our mind is even more important. Computing things all day long, allowing us to function, allowing us to live. Give your mind permission to relax. Imagine it fading away. And just enjoy sitting here for a little while longer. Okay, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. We awake? How'd that go? A little longer, but a lot of parts of the body. I even skipped some. So that is what I would consider to be a body scan. So we're scanning our body. And it's not like, hey, let's scan our body. Margaret, love that. Great. It's not like, hey, let's scan our body. Like we're single-pointedly focusing on each part of our body. Lisa's barely awake. All right, I'll speed things up, then you can go to bed. Janelle got past the knees. Great. Ellen, you like that one? That's great. Pam liked it. Great. Awesome. Yeah, it's a really good one. Especially, it's just a good one in general. Like you can do it even when you're not trying to go to sleep. I find it's really good for going to sleep if you're having trouble, right? Rosa, that was great. Oh, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So when we're doing a body scan, right, it's not just like, my feet and my legs, right? We're systematically going through each part of our body, right? And what are we doing? First, we're single-pointedly focused on it, right? Just like we were with our breath. So we're single-pointedly focused on our eyes, right? Just to notice how our eyes are feeling, right? Paying attention to some of the things about our eyes that we don't normally pay attention to, right? And then we start to weave in gratitude a little bit. Hey, man, it's pretty cool that I'm able to see, right? Think of all the beautiful things that we look at each day and how hard our eyes work to allow us to enjoy that, right? And we can kind of give our eyes permission to relax, right? And so the concept here is to help us not get mad at our body, our mind, when we're struggling to go to sleep, because that's usually what happens. And instead, we're going to do the complete opposite. We're going to develop massive gratitude for every aspect of our body, thinking about how important each and every part of our body is for us, for all things we do each day, right? That way we have some patience and compassion for ourselves, right? And if doing that, we feel like, okay, you know what? Relax a little bit, like you've earned it, essentially, right? And I find it's a good way of helping this kind of like fade away feeling by giving ourselves permission to do so. Cool. You could hear yourself snore. All right, cool. When each part fades away, it feels like they drop off into affinity. It actually feels wonderful. That's beautiful. Yeah. So, and that really is part of why we give ourselves permission to do this. We're like, hey, you eyes, nose, whatever, like you have earned this. Take a break, right? Just relax, right? And then we're like kind of systematically going down. Great. Carol, thank you once again for Love Bukowski. Carol, thank you for being here. Alan, focused much more with that meditation than I have with other meditations. Okay, Alan, that's a really good thing to notice. Everybody is going to kind of gravitate to a different type of meditation. Now, you might be the type of person who likes to include visualizations or including like a physical aspect, like your body, into your meditations, and that's awesome, right? It doesn't matter what kind of meditation you do; they're all aimed at doing the same thing, right? What were we doing in a body scan? We're choosing to focus on one thing, our eyes, right? And if we get distracted, we're like, nope, focusing on my eyes, right? And then we're letting our eyes kind of relax by doing that, right? So whatever type of meditation you find that you're kind of gravitating to, cool, go with that one. It's a good place to start. Rob, me, thank you. Eyes, my eyes shut. The eyes are getting a lot of attention, right? Lisa, energy goes where attention flows. I heard that phrase not too long ago, and it seems to apply to the body scan meditation. Yeah, that's a really good quote, and it is true, right? Like if we take the breathing meditation, even that, right? We're putting focus on our breath, right? And so there's a kind of an energy around our breath. And what's happening when we're single-pointedly focused, our attention is single-pointedly on our breath, right? There's no energy for all those anxious thoughts, right? There's just not enough to support them. So they start to fade a little bit. Great. Yeah, Margaret, I agree. Very great quote. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, that's it. Hopefully you're not, hopefully if it's morning, you're able to wake up, and if it's night, you're able to go to sleep from this. Do come back next week. Each week we talk about something new. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but it'll have to do with meditation. So come on back. If you, want to, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's really helpful for me, and it's helpful for you too, in that you get some notifications when I'm going live. So when inevitably you're super busy on Wednesday nights and you forget, you'll be like, hey, excuse me, it's meditation time, right? And then you can come on by and hang out. And if you can't make it, all these videos are available on my YouTube channel, so you can check them out at your convenience. And if you're like, whoa, this is super awesome, I'm really into this, I would like to explore this further, right? I do one-on-one classes, which are fantastic. They're really, really good for diving into specifics, things that you specifically want to get out of meditation. Maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's being less angry, maybe it's whatever, right? So the one-on-ones, I do them virtually over Zoom. They're really good. And so if that's interesting to you, email me and we can figure out a time that works. I'm going to put my email in the chat right now. It's Keith@meditationbreaks.com. Keith@meditationbreaks.com. There we go. Janelle, thank you. Ellen, you have a wonderful day. DJ, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad you were here. Margaret, thanks, Keith. Love that you give this of yourself to people. Thank you. Yeah, meditation is something everyone can do. The barrier to entry is not very high, and everyone should try it. Why not? Right? If it helps, that's good. Right? We're always looking to better our lives, right? Make ourselves more relaxed and peaceful. Okay, great. Oh, Margaret, plugging my one-on-ones. Yeah, so I work with a lot of people here during the one-on-one meditations, and it's honestly my favorite thing to do because we can really get into some awesome stuff that are particular to you. So just let me know if that's interesting to you. Pam, I will see you next time. I will see everyone next time. Thank you for being here. I love teaching and couldn't do it without you. So thank you for taking time out of your busy lives to explore meditation and allow me to teach it to you. And hopefully you are leaving feeling pretty relaxed. Okay, I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.